What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis. I help athletes prepare mentally for a life of overseas basketball. It's been a while since I did a little solo episode, but I'm glad to be back. A lot's been going on this season. But before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned. Anybody that you know want to know about the life of overseas basketball, hey, tell them to tune in. Let's get straight into it, man. So today's episode, I'm going to go over I like to give the perspective of the basketball player of over 10 years. The road that has been, the ups, the downs, what to expect. This is what you can learn and get from this show tonight. Like I said, there is a lot to unpack in this segment. Why? Because just a player's journey is filled with so many ups and downs.
Are you interested in playing overseas basketball one day? I wish someone would have told me 1 year after college I would receive my first pro gig. I wish someone would have told me that having an agent does not guarantee that you will get hired. I wish someone would have told me being cut from a team, because after 10 years in this game, everyone gets cut from a team. Now, after traveling from over 17 different countries and winning up to 7 championships in my pro career, I've put together the 6 most important traits any player needs before starting their career. So go ahead and grab that ebook and get all the information you need today to start your career. Now you can't say no one didn't let you know. So go ahead, grab that ebook and get started so you can become the pro one day. Let's go.
So many ups and downs that you got to go through as a player. And I don't want newer athletes or younger kids coming up. I know the Final Four is going on right now, and a lot of guys are just thinking about the next transition of where they will be playing next, what they will be doing next. And I just want them to understand that once you get done with all that, you start your pro career, it's going to be nothing like what you expect. It's nothing like what they portray on everyday media. You see, most guys, there's one thing we always say, as a social media content creator, you don't see no losses on social media. They don't show you people losing. You don't see people who doesn't have all the followers and doesn't have all the attributes, or isn't going for 40 points or isn't going crazy for this game. They don't show you that. They don't show you the ins and outs of what's really going on, what's the situations that players got to deal with on a daily basis. And I just try to give some insight on what a player deals with on a daily basis, because that is what's going to help you progress in this career, progress in this life as a pro one day. And I make a joke. I was talking with one of my best friends who is actually now with me playing on my team. You got to think about it. It took us 10 years, and I've had him on the show plenty of time. Big Deuce, Tap Athletics is his YouTube, Tap Athletics 22. You can find him on Instagram and TikTok. And he's been doing content creation and playing for 10 years as well. And it took us 10 years to finally get a chance to play together. So there's just like so many things that can not happen in this life that you have to take advantage of. And we live the actual day-to-day life. And we say this type of content of what we're talking about now, people are not really listening to it. They hear it, but they're not prevalent to it because it's so new. Now overseas basketball is starting to become so new and everybody wants their chance, but nobody is saying how to navigate this life on a day-to-day basis. How do you navigate talking with coaches in situations that does not fit you particularly? How do you navigate, we got paid a month late. How do you navigate bringing in extra income so that this is not your only base income, because these people do play with your money a lot of the time. No one told me, hey, you know what? Almost every season that you ever played, about 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they're going to be late with your money. I don't think someone has ever told me that. It is more of a treat for a guy to say that they have taken care of his money and they paid him on time. You hardly ever hear them say that more than I got paid on time everything was good, all this and that. You most likely don't hear that more times than you actually hear that I got paid and everything, always on time and all this and that. It just typically doesn't happen. And most guys be like, well, I got a friend that plays the Euro League and this and that. It's just like the average player is not going to be in EuroLeague. The average player isn't going to play in a lot of top leagues. You're going to play in a lot of mediocre leagues. You might get a stint where you get 1 or 2 years, but most guys aren't getting these big contracts and getting these massive deals that are life-changing money. It just doesn't happen like that on a back-to-back basis. Some guys, yes. The majority of guys, it's not happening. But that is okay. That does not mean that it is not possible for you to eat or come up in this game. It just takes a little bit of strategy. It takes a little bit of planning. It takes a little bit of you understanding that I have to do more than just be a basketball player. Focus on your craft, yes. But once you step over into this life, someone never told me that, hey, you are your own businessman now. You have to start promoting yourself, and you have to start doing the things necessary to make sure your career goes down the path that you want it to go. No one gave me that little bit of information that I could have definitely started working on from since I was in college or whatever it may be. Someone just give me a heads up of what's probably going to go on. Just tell me ahead of time what to expect so I don't have to be in such of a surprise. Like, it's not, sometimes all surprises are good. You want valuable information. Hey, they're going to be late. So what you have to do is make sure if you got bills, for instance, we were paid a month late. A lot of people got bills and basketball is their only source of income. But because of the way the business is, there's not really a lot of penalty for players or organizations paying you late or them taking responsibility if they don't have your money on time. It's just like, okay, what are you going to do about it? Take us to FIBA and try to sue us or something or make a claim? Those take about 1.5 years just to even get settled, to even get looked at. So what are we really doing here? Like, you're either going to wait and deal with it. Some teams, I just heard like another team in this league, guys ain't got paid in 3 months. 3 months hadn't gotten paid? Like, come on. And then you still have to go out there and play and hope that your money comes because this is the career path that you chose. So now you have to wait to see if your money comes in because the team isn't paying you on time. And you're like, what am I going to do? Go home and go start working at Publix? Working at UPS? These are real things that guys go back into. Have a good career, come back, go work at UPS. Ain't no knock. It's just proper planning, proper management was not given to us and made it very aware that that is what we need to be doing and focusing on. We need to be focusing on multiple streams of income to support our life when we get done with basketball. What are you going to be able to take away? Say, I played 10 years from the game of basketball and I don't even have a home to show for it. I don't even have a decent car to show for it. I don't have any decent assets that I was able to build up over time to acquire that can help me push my life forward when I get done, because coming straight into the game, this game is limited. You're only going to be able to play so long. That's in all sports. You're only going to be able to play so long. So you have to just be real with yourself and say, how long do I really think that I'm going to play? Does my lifestyle match up with the work, match up with the production that I'm seeing year in and year out? Like, am I getting these contracts? Am I getting $6,000, $7,000 contracts every year, or between 5 to 7 in my later years? Can I sustain this for a while? I don't know. That is a question you have to ask yourself and be real with yourself. Is this happening for me? Is this going the way I think it is? So if it is, how do I strategize? How do I keep it going so I can be able to put some money up somewhere? A lot of guys don't even know how to put some money up inside of a high yield interest, high high yield cash account, like high interest cash account. I'll give you a tip. There's one that I watch, a podcast called the Millionaire Habits Podcast. And they have this one app that just came out called, they didn't have the app, they're promoting the app because they are a business podcast and talk about stocks and investing podcast. And they talk about this one app called public.com. Now, I'm not a sponsor with them, but I use them. So I'm just passing on the information that I use that's helped me. In public.com, there's a cash account that gives you 5.1%. You can take that money out anytime you want. Now, imagine if you was able to save up $100,000 if you're a player, you got $100,000 that you could put on the side, you're still able to work off the money that you put that in the high yield cash account every season or whatever, you're making an extra $5,000 off the money just sitting there, just based on the interest accumulation for just having it in the app. It covered up to $250,000 or maybe, I think it's like $500,000 is covered by the FDIC, which is the federal government, like insurance, of how much they're able to cover you if something happens to your money. I don't know a lot of basketball players who got $500,000 sitting around, so whatever money you decide to put in there, it will be fine. The whole point to this is learn how to start making your money do something, make more money for you. Learn how to take the money that we got from here and start dishing it out into other areas of your life that can help you when you're done with it. This is just a fragment of your life. God willing that you live a long, luxurious life that you possibly can. I wish that for everybody. But basketball is probably, if you play it long enough, it'll probably be a third of your life. Those are for the ones that are blessed to play that long at a high level. I'm not talking about the pickup or things like that. I'm talking about the guys who's able to play basketball at a high level, professional level. It's pretty much going to be a third of your life till about 30. Most guys last till about 30. That's just real. If that, I've seen a lot of guys stop around the age of 30 and it be a wrap for them. They turn into agents, they turn into coaches, they turn into trainers, they turn into, they just hang around the game. It's the same routine. It's the same thing, which is cool. But they start trickling down and moving into that aspect later on into their careers. But it's right around the age of 30, that'd be the end for most guys' careers. Probably earlier than that. 27 to 30 be a wrap for a lot of players. You don't see a lot of guys 35, 40 still playing. You're going to find some. The ones who actually start taking care of their body early. Some who are just gifted and can play and don't really have no major injuries or anything. But it's very far and few. And a lot of times I don't like for people to try to look at the guys who are like the anomalies and they are able to navigate and play for a long time and they don't work out a lot. Or they eat poorly, but they've been able to play at an elite level. Some people are like that. The vast majority of us, we need to eat right, we need to sleep, we need to stretch, we need to have the right type of workouts. There's a lot that you have to do. You have to manage your money. There's a lot that you have to do. Some people just get away with just getting away. Don't let that be your strategy. Don't let your strategy be, I'm just going to get by getting by, and hopefully everything will work out for me. My college coaches always say, hope is not a good strategy. Having a good strategy is a good strategy. But does anybody ever tell you needed a strategy once you started playing overseas basketball? I don't believe a lot of people has given me a strategy. I've just developed it over time and understand, hey, you need a strategy. And if you start applying one, you can actually start getting more out of this game, more out of this life by just applying the things necessary for you to have a great career. That's all I want. That's all I want from everybody. Have a good career. That's all it is. We just want to have a good career, to use this as a trampoline to push us to something greater in our lives. That's all I wish for every player. The longer you get in the game, you don't be on all that hate and stuff. You're not trying to see the next man lose. You just want to know if that man doing all right, because you know how bad the BS be just as much as every other player, because you've been through it just as much as everybody else. You've been through the nonsense. You've been dealt with not getting paid. You trying to figure out being cut and why did this happen. This is too much into it. I'm gonna go into the first segment, or one of the segments of the show, which is called Fact Over Feelings. And in this segment of Fact Over Feelings, we're going to talk about let them go. So what do I mean by let them go? I believe sometimes in this life we have certain people that feel like they are entitled to owe something from them. Like you owe them something. Yo, you don't owe anybody anything. You only owe everything to yourself. You owe everything to yourself. No one person should be the controller of your destiny. You have to be in control of your own destiny, of your own life, of everything that happens to you and for you. A lot of times people believe they are the one that can control your life because they may have helped you out in a situation. They may have given you an opportunity and they believe that you are entitled to give them something in return, as far as you would be here without me. And that is something that I am strongly against. We have to get out of this mindset to believe that I am not going to get to where I'm going to get in my life without this certain person or any individual's help. Part of trusting your journey and going along your own path is understanding that when you come to the decision in your mind that you're going to do everything it takes to get to where you want to get to in life, it doesn't really matter what the next man is doing for you. Because you've already set your path in the universe, and it is going to lay out the groundwork and bring the people that are near to you that is needed to get you to where you need to get in life. A lot of times we feel like some people, they got the connection, they got the information. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Just because you know one person for quite some time doesn't mean that they are the only person that can help you in your life to progress into the situations or opportunities that is meant for you. Don't let that be the only standing benchmark in your life to feel like I can't get somewhere without this person. I truly believe that people should never let someone hold something over them just for an opportunity. If you are not trying to genuinely bless someone with an opportunity out of the goodness of your heart, you shouldn't just take anything from someone just because they got it. I'm gonna hang out with a millionaire, but he treats me wrong, and he talks about me in a very ill-mannered way. However, he got it, and he be throwing me a couple of dollars here and there. Does that really help your life? Does it really matter? Does this other person dictate how you're going to live your life, how you're going to proceed and produce and go further in your life? I don't think that no one should live like that. No one should live like that. And the only reason I bring this segment up, like I say, a lot of things that happen on this show is just testament of things that I go through in my life and what I see go through other people's life. And sometimes I come into situations with some people and they just feel like I'm due to them. Like you owe me. Sorry. You should never owe nobody nothing. You only owe them respect because you respect yourself. You give what you want in return. You want to give respect because that's the only thing you want back to you. You want to give a kind heart because that's the only thing you want back to you. You want to give love out because that's the only thing you want back to you. You should never be in someone's presence that does not want you to be there. That is not something that anyone should strive for due to what they have or want to hold over you. You will be fine. You will be able to understand that you can get through anything in this life that you can get through on your own. You just have to trust in yourself. You just have to believe that, you know what, it is meant for you. Not everybody is meant for you. If you've been friends for forever, it doesn't even matter. 10 years, 12 years, that doesn't mean they were meant for you. They were just there for a time period in your life. And then it's on to the next in your life. There's like segments in your life. Not everybody, it's very rare that some people are with you from day one. That's why the importance of day ones are so big, because these people there aren't too many. I've been friends with him for 40 years how many of those stories do you hear? Oh, we had a falling out, then we came back, but it's never really the same when you come back. I feel like that's with some family members. They just feel like, you know what, for some reason, because you decide to change, you think that you are better than me, so now you have to bow down to me because I am too insecure to get out of my own way and feel different. So I feel like, nah, you owe me something. If you ask me to borrow something, then yeah, I did that for you. Oh man, stop. You are worth more than that. You deserve more than that. Doesn't matter what it is. Remember, what you deserve is going to come your way. If you are a great person, if you put out goodness into this world, if you put out light, if you put out just a willing spirit, if you put out that passion and desire for what you want out of your life, that is what's going to come back to you. That is what's going to be reciprocal to your life. It's all about what you're giving out into this world that you are wanting to receive back. Doesn't matter the person, it doesn't matter the situation or what they're going through. It's not going to be your life and your path. No one person, no one man dictates your destiny. You are in control of your destiny. You are in control of your mind, of your life. Your thoughts create your life. Your your mindset, your state of being dictates your life. It allows you to wake up with the passion that I'm going to do better. It allows you to push forward when you're feeling down. Today I was doing my posts for my Instagram, for my YouTube, just going through my daily routine, and it was at that moment when I was doing my normal post, I just got a little down in the point of, man, this is some work. However, I know the passion, I know the reason, I know the why of what I'm doing this for and what is the betterment of what this is all for. And those moments, that is what allows you to wake up and go for what you want. Even when you don't want to do something, you still go through it and do it because you know this is for the future me. What is the 20-year-old you, or 20 years from now you looking back? You want that person right now to be saying, thank you for doing everything that you're doing for what we're going to have at this moment in our life. That is all a state of being that you have to have for yourself. No person can dictate that for you. You have to come to that agreement in your mind. You have to feel that in your heart that I am in control of my life. I am in control of my destiny. I am in control of everything that is in front of me. My state of mind, my mood, my energy. Even when I don't want to do things, I'm still going to push through it and grind to get it done because this is for the future me. This is for my family. This is for my friends, my real close friends who only want to see me win. This is for those who are true supporters. Just as much as you got so many haters, you got some true, real deal, die-hard fans, and not even just fans. They are fans, people who are a fan of you, who love you and just want to see you do good. Those are fans. Some people, they might be your aunt, they might be your uncle, they might be some of your cousins, they might be your middle school teacher. They just want to see you good, that genuine love. No fake love from nobody. No fake love of I'm only doing this because I got more than you. Time to let them people go. You don't need that to get to where you're going to get to in your life. Always remember that. You don't need any fake love. You don't need anybody to try to tell you that if you don't have them, you're not going to succeed and you're not going to be what you're going to be. Can all that. Forget that. You are going to get to wherever you're going to get to in life because you only allow positive energy to fuel your life. Man, that's all I got for this segment. of fact over feelings. Just let them go. No more fake love. You don't need them. Moving on. And the show, I like to go through those two shows, fact over feelings. I normally go on to another segment called Keys to the Game. And in this segment of Keys to the Game, I wanted to talk about accountability. Accountability in all states of the game. That means accountability from players, accountability from organization, accountability from coaches, general managers, everybody who all plays a part in this game. Why? If we don't hold each other accountable, if one person is lacking, the whole building gonna crumble. It's like playing the game of Jenga. It's like you're playing Jenga, and somebody pulls out one wrong cube block, and the whole thing's come crashing down. That's because somebody didn't do their job. Someone was not accountable for their actions. Are you accountable for your actions when you get on these organizations, in these organizations, with these teams? Are the teams accountable for their actions? I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of times they're not. So I'm gonna just speak to the players. A key to you always being ready in this game is you have to stay accountable for your own action. Do not blame anybody for anything that happens. That means also what team that you chose, sometimes it can be a wrong team for you. But how you act when you are in these organizations determines a lot of what happens next. You could be in a bad situation and start having a bad attitude. You could start getting really upset and start showing that. And in this game, I've seen it too many times. I can't stand it. You gotta have a great player, great attitude, great all these things, and a coach might not like you and he'll say something bad about you, and that one comment can go so far down your career. But if you're being accountable for yourself as a player and say, I know I'm not like that. I know I'm not what they are perceiving me to be. You stay true to being a professional. Professional is someone that always come on time, does his work, no matter the external factors that try to come into your surroundings. You understand that I have to train, I have to get up and work, I have to get up and be with a good attitude, even in situations I don't want to. Even if this person does not want me to, doesn't want to smile at me, doesn't want to shake my hand, I still have to show who I am over what they are trying to perceive me to be. And that is a very hard thing to do at times. I'm not even going to sit here and say, oh, it's just easy to just act like everything is cool, even though they're sitting here talking about me. Even though they're sitting here treating me bad, I just gotta act like everything is cool, and I gotta act like ain't nothing going on. That is very hard, but that is part of the game. That is part of the game, and in this life, you just gotta learn how to play the game. Being accountable for your actions is gonna take you a long way in this game, for your attitude, for your work ethic. That is just something you gotta understand, that you have to be deep within yourself to understand. I'm not going to let nobody else determine what I have came here to do in the first place. You came here to do a job. Unfortunately, you didn't come here to be friends with some people. You didn't come here to be family members with some people. Every team nowadays misuse and abuse the word family. Yeah, we family. Family on three. That is a lot to call yourself family with some individuals. Some guys that you have no plans on ever seeing again. Some guys that you have no plans on even attempting to having a relationship after this. But you're sitting here calling each other family. That's sometimes the game you gotta play. I believe over my entire career, all of the players that I have been through, and I've been on probably 20 different teams. In my 10 years, let's just say 2 teams a year, at least 20 different teams. You do that times 10, maybe 200. To It's just so many players and interaction. No, not even people. One year I was playing and it was 17 players got cut. That's Cibacopa. That's Cibacopa, Mexico. That is a different level of crazy. 17 players got cut. So you got to think about how many players are coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And you have to stand here and be like professional, and your backup is sitting in the stands. 4 players is waiting on the bench in the stands just for you to have one bad game so they can switch you for those players. And they tell you don't leave, sit right there and wait. Because we got another 4 players waiting just in case they're not good. We're going to bring in another set of guys. What kind of basketball is that? That's why I say it's very important for you to be accountable of your mood and your state and your mindset when you are playing this game. Because really everybody's looking out for themselves. The GM, the president, the owner, the coach, other players, they're really just looking out for themselves. You can't take it personal for not looking out for yourself as well. You have to that is your job, to look out for yourself. You cannot put that into the hands of somebody else. Don't put your life in the hands of somebody else. As I was saying in the fact of Philistine, you have to be accountable. You have to do what you need to do. You have to play the game. It's a game. It's not, and I'm not talking basketball. It's a game. Are you studying the game of basketball? Are you studying the game of overseas life? Are you studying people? Are you studying the psychology of the way certain people move? One thing I can tell you for sure, the more you increase your consciousness, and I say that for me, is the more information I can get, the more I can understand people. I read a lot of books on psychology, how people move, how people think, how people act. And then you'll start understanding different cultures and you'll start to see this type of rhythm and pattern in life that happens just by the actions of what certain people do on a daily basis or just in general. You'll be able to read things. I always call it that you're reading the Matrix. It's like the code, the Matrix, the code. And the guy say, you can read that? He's like, I could read the code. It's just a code. Some people see numbers, I see a code, I see a pattern, I see something happening. You have to be accountable of raising your consciousness level to be able to read these signs before certain things happen. You have to always be ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You have to be ready for that. You have to have your mindset right. You have to be accountable when you come to these other teams' organization to make sure you are able to see what's going to happen before it happens. And I know that's very hard to explain, but some things that what I try to emphasize a lot here on this show and what I'm trying to let you understand is basically you can't just be a basketball player. You have to be a businessman. You have to be someone who is growing. This platform is your personal development. You're growing as a person. The more you grow as a person, the greater your basketball career and your life will overall be. Because this life is going to be one of the biggest testament of resilience that you have to go through. And it's your job to be ready for that. You can't say no one hasn't told you, because I'm sitting here telling you right now, you have to prepare for this life of overseas basketball like it's a test. This is like you're going into Fortune 500 company and you have to be ready for what all that comes with it, the responsibilities of what's going on. You think a person that works in a Fortune 500 company as a CEO or as a president could just walk in and act like they don't know what's going on. You have to be attentive of that. You got to know what current things are going on. You have to know what's going on in that country. You have to know different cultures. You got to know how the team operates. You got to know the players that they have had before. You got to know the history of the team. You have to know how long you could be here. You have to know people. You have to see how certain people act. I may not be able to treat this person like this. I might not be able to joke with him. I might need to not say nothing to him. He looks like he a snitch. You got to be accountable. That's all I got for this segment of Keys to the Game. You have to be accountable for your information that you get for you to get further in this game. Don't leave that up to chance. Do not leave that up to chance. Don't let it be that it's just a breeze in the wind and I'll be good on my own without not gaining any information and not really truth. No. You need to start increasing your awareness and you're the only one accountable for that. Don't say no one hasn't told you, because I'm telling you right now. That's all I got for this segment of Keys to the Game. That's the key for the day. Be accountable of your awareness. Moving on. I'm enjoying this show. I hope everybody's enjoying it. I hope I'm giving information out that is one day that can touch somebody's realm of influence. I'll be honest, like one of the hardest parts of doing this is not getting the feedback. And I tell you to pivot and move and change, and you watch so much in social media today and they tell you to do this, do that. If you're not getting any interaction, this means that. If you're not getting this, you need to do that. You're not interesting enough. You're not this. You need to change this. You need to be like No Chill Gill. You need to see how the podcast P is doing. You need to call. I truly believe that, you know what, I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own space. And a lot of times, I remember Rick Ross say he didn't get started. He got started. He was in the game for like 10, 15 years before he was finally acknowledged for the type of style that he was doing. Because everybody said, hey, you rap too slow. Hey, you doing it this way. And everybody's doing this way. But he kept doing what he was doing. And because of that, he changed the game. Now he's his own unique person that has his own style that other people try to copy now. You know what I mean? He started his own wave and stayed true to it no matter how long that it happened. And that is a part of this journey of what I'm doing with this network. I'm trying to create I'm creating my own lane. And it is, that's one thing I would say, I'm going through the ups and downs and the flows of this. This is just the mind of this is what my mindset beyond. I have to go play. I have to go produce at a high level. And then I have to come and try to build this network to a high value production, high value information, and giving you all that I can and giving you the best that I can, and just believing that no matter what, it is going to get the job done. If I pour in everything that I have in me to do the best I can to give valuable information, and this is not just here for a money grab. I am creating something that is to last, to be a startup for the legacy that I'm leaving to my family, to my lifestyle, to my last name. That is where all this comes from. After playing the game, I believe I've reached quite a pinnacle in my career where I could pivot. I feel everything happened at the right moment. I'm around 10 years, I was 10 years in, so I've got quite a good grasp and a lot of information on this life that I can share with somebody else. I've been in it enough that I can start doing something else and really focus in on it. That doesn't mean it's easy. Like I said, this network, this podcast is about personal development first. So I am constantly in my never-ending journey of personal development, developing my mind, developing my information, becoming more of a businessman, becoming more with the inner peace, becoming more aware of my surroundings and people and psychology, and being a father and being a friend and dealing with toxic relationships from people that have been in my life, people who only see the what I put in on the content creation side and think, oh, you're winning. Yeah, I'm winning. But that comes with a price too. They say, oh man, you're making money from this, and you're doing this and whatever. Hey bro, this is work. This is work that I'm doing that is for the betterment of all basketball players who wants to one day play this game. This is my contribution to the world of overseas basketball. I know this is what I was called to do. And just because I'm called to do it doesn't mean that it's just easy. And I wake up every single day ecstatic. I'm so happy I get to go and make content that nobody's going to watch for another 10 years. Possibly. I'm not going to put that on there, but you never know. It's just the fact that, are you going to show up for the 1 to 2 people that does tune in? No matter what, I get about 1 or 2. I post a lot of video clips. I post about a segment, 5 to 10 minute segment every day. I post reels, shorts every day, no matter what, on like 3 different platforms. I'm a social media content creator. I am the producer. I'm the videographer. I'm every job because I have to be right now. But that's okay. But when you want more, you do more. If I have to do the camera, I have to record, because there's a lot of times, a lot of people, being a content creator and then being a podcaster is 2 different jobs. I'm running 3 Instagram pages as well as a full-blown podcast, YouTube podcast and platform, as well as playing professional basketball with no help. With no help. And I'm glad, because I know one day I'm going to look back and say, this is how it started for me. That doesn't mean I'm not looking for help. If anybody, feel free to send your help to your boy. And if you're truly committed to the growth of the show and the growth of what we're doing here, write me. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be a lone wolf. No, I really believe you get further together. I was talking to my best friend, Big Deuce, from Tap Athletics, and I was telling him, like, we started making videos together. Now that we're on the same team, we started making reels and videos together, and they have done better than either one of us has combined throughout our content creation journey. He's been doing it this is 6th year now. This is my 2nd year. This is the most interaction and growth that we've gotten the minute we start working together, truly working together. So that you're going to get further together. So I am very open for anybody that wanted to help. Now, there was some topics. I know I went on like a little rant there, but this is just this is just the thoughts of what's the average player. You're just getting the mindset of just the average player. I'm not average. Of a great player that is living the normal life. This is what a normal player goes through in life, who's trying to do something, who's trying to grow. I'm just trying to make my way. I'm just trying to carve my way into my own reality. I'm just in the process of building out my life one step at a time, one thought at a time, one action at a time, and trusting and believing that. That's what this life of overseas basketball has taught me. You go through so much ups and downs and ebbs and flows that you think that it's just, everybody just forgets about the life part. You forget about, you have to find yourself. You have to deal with yourself. You have to understand the reality of life, of relationships, for having a family, being away from your daughter or kid for 7-8 months at a time, and having a phone relationship, and trying to have, there's just so many things that goes into it, and your mindset is just, and that is so something that you must work on every day. Something that you must work on every single day. I was going to talk a lot about what happened in the season, currently what's going on in the season. We had a change. Our coach got fired. And I'm not going to harp on that too much, because I do have an interview with one of the players that he fired. And then like 2 days later, he got fired, which is, I was blowed, because you just fired a guy that I actually loved as a player. And then 2 days you get fired. So if you got fired earlier, he wouldn't have gotten fired. But now we do not have him a part of the group anymore. Part of the business. And I know that the coach listens to, it's crazy because he listens to my podcast. He's one of the people that listen to it. And I'm not sitting here to throw no shade on him and say he was a bad coach or nothing. He's a good person. Everybody has their journey in their mind and their situations that they have to go through to figure out in life. Just because you got fired doesn't mean that your life is done and you're not a good coach. This wasn't the situation for you. This is just a learning point. This is just a state of your life that you realize, maybe I have to tweak and change some things because I did this and it didn't work. That's what every basketball player has to do when they get fired. Whatever happens in my life, I am responsible. So if I get fired, I was responsible. If my girlfriend leaves, I am responsible. If something happened, I am responsible. So everybody, with that being said, is responsible for the things that has happened to them and to them in their lives. And same thing with him. You're responsible for the actions that happen in your life. Is it how you perceive that or how you look at that coming next is going to dictate what you do next in your life. Will you continue to be the same guy that you were that got you in this situation, or will you pivot, learn, grow, and adapt something new to get a different result? If this was the outcome of what you got, you have to change your thought process, because if you don't first change your thought process, then you will continue to receive the same results. And you cannot get upset for the results that you're receiving by the thoughts that you are having that is leading to the action that you are doing that is giving you the results that you have. I look at my career and see all the championships and all the points and all of the accomplishments, and that is just a thought process that I have built throughout the years of my life. You could just look at all of the things that you have and all of the accomplishments or all of the processes that you went through in your life as just these are the current thoughts that I have. This studio, this network is due to my thought process. My 7 championships was due to my thought process. Being an all-time leading scorer was due to my thought process, because how I thought about myself determined the work that I was willing to put in to get the results, to have the action, to do the things, to get the results of what I had. These are just all the thought processes that we have in our life. And until we understand that that's where it all starts and we have to change, that is how we can change our lives for whatever we want in our lives. Because no one, I know even him did not want to get fired. And I really don't want to go too much more into that. Because I don't want to. Everybody has a life. Everybody has their way of dealing with things. And sometimes you're not right. I know I'm not always right. I'm openly, when I'm wrong, please tell me so I can change and get right. I don't want to walk around not knowing what I don't know and be ignorant to not be able to hear it. I believe I said the other day to someone, God, let me be open to receive the information I did not know I needed to hear. Let me be open to receive the information I didn't even know that I needed. Because a lot of times people are giving us some information that we don't even know that we need. You don't even know you need it. You just think that everything is cool, and I don't need to hear what he's saying. I don't ever want to be in that position in my life where I'm getting information that I didn't know I need, but I wasn't open to hear it. I wasn't open to receive it. I want to be open to receive whatever message that is made for me that I may not even know that I need in that moment. But when the moment comes, I want to be fully prepared, because I received the information without even knowing it was going to help me out in this moment. A lot of the stuff that I'm saying now is for people to say, you know what, I didn't even know I needed to hear that. I did not know I needed to hear that. And now, because I accepted it, look at how this has helped me in this situation in my life. It was just something that came over me that made me believe that. So that's pretty much all I got for this segment of the Honest Thoughts podcast, of this episode. I really appreciate everybody that tunes in. If you ever have any questions, if you ever want to know anything, DM me on Instagram. Write me. I try to write and respond to everybody and just grow. I'm growing every moment, every day. These are just some, the reason The reason the podcast is called Arnold's Thoughts because it all started with my thoughts that I go through in my head on a daily basis. These are the thoughts that I be thinking about. I think about people. I think about lives of like how people live their lives. I think about how I live my life. I think about what I can do contribute to helping someone else's life. I think about how I can continuously be legendary in this game of basketball with what has been given to me. What more can I do to be legendary? And if I can share that with somebody that can help them along their journey, how can I do that? Every step, every thought is just my mind by myself runs all day. And I was like, hey, I might as well pick up a camera and a microphone and just speak what's on my mind. Because sometimes people just love to hear the perspective of someone else who may be like-minded, who may think, hey, man, I thought the same thing, but I never heard no one say it that way. Everybody has their tribe. Everybody has some people that they are connected to that they can just say, I rock with them. They get me. Like gym goers, people go to the gym. I understand people go to the gym. You start talking to me about creatine and body weight and how to do certain muscle positions and how to lift the weights like this and this angle. I'm loving it. I hear it. I speak that language. I love it. We all got our group. We got our people that we rock with that is like us. Some of us need to start using that voice and being that person. Like I told my recent teammate who got fired, who left, Mateo, it's your responsibility to be the light for the people who need to see. Some people living in darkness and you are the light that you didn't even know. So you have to fuel your fire and become brighter to help the ones who need to see that are living in darkness. It is your responsibility. I know it's my responsibility to be here, to do this. I live this. I love this. It gives me life to know that in my own way I'm creating a change. It's in my own way I can hear somebody say, thank you, bro. I thought I was the only one, but it feels good to know that you are being a help to the planet, to the world, the best way you can. So that's all I got for this segment, this episode of the Arnold Thoughts Podcast. Y'all follow me on IG. And, if you got any questions, DM me, write me. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got. Till next time.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.